What's up, everyone? This is DYANAROZAY. Welcome to my channel. If you guys can hear the sound of my voice, please let me know by putting your city and state into the chat. Okay. Hey, baby Aaliyah, how are you? Hey, Olivia, what's going on? Thank you, guys. I'm doing another midday live. And this is really just to have a conversation about a live that Melody and her friend just did just a few moments ago, actually. It was very eye opening. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it. What's up, Plymouth, Minnesota? How are you? I wanted to talk to you guys about it because, hey, I think that every once in a while we have Valley Ho, California, we have Las Vegas, Nevada, Plymouth, Minnesota. What's up? I don't think I've ever seen Minnesota. Hey, Minnesota. Hey, ATL. What's going on? We have Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all already know I tell you every time. My grandparents, my mother's parents were from Memphis, Tennessee, and my father's parents were from Texas. What's going on? A small town in Texas. What's up? Is that Tulupio, Mississippi? I hope I pronounced that correctly. Martinsburg, West Virginia. What's going on? You caught the second half. Okay, well, they were dropping some gems over there, Modesto, California, and I really enjoyed it. Hey, Sylvia from Huntsville, what's going on? Juliet, Illinois, what's going on? New York City, hey, how you doing, honey? Um, yeah, so I see Henderson is in the house. Yeah, so I wanted to come over. I wanted to play you guys what I could. Oh, check it out. Hi, One in a Million. I talked to you the other day. She is from Ocala, Florida, and that is where we are keeping an eye on AJ. And yes, thank you. I appreciate you. She had reached out to me and let me know that she was from there and, making sure that I kept some details straight. So I appreciate you so much. One in a million. Uh-oh. Check this out. We got Africa. Is that Guyana? I believe that's pronounced. I'm not sure. I apologize. I'm going to get it correct though. So if I said it wrong, I will remember and I will get it corrected for next time. I promise. Washington, D.C., Ohio, which is my birth state. What's going on? Thank you. Naperville, Illinois. Okay, listen, you guys are always amazing to me and for me. So I appreciate you every time. Um, what I wanted to say was Melody did quite a long live today with her friend. I believe her name is Shanita. Shanita is someone said they just watched it and it was a great interview. Yeah, so Shanita was answering all or asking all the questions that she said she wanted to know as her friend. She said, listen, I know you in real life. So I don't watch the show for information about you. I want to talk to you about you. And they decided to go live to do that. And I just thought that was really cool. South America is in the house. Hey, what is going on? Thank you for joining me. And she said it's pronounced Guyana. Guyana. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Yeah, so she said that she wanted to go live and have real questions from a friend who cares about her, who's not trying to embarrass her, make her feel bad, and give what she believed to be burning questions. Okay. Hey, Georgia. So I wanted to share a little bit that with you guys. I wanted to see if we can just pull questions and answers up from the chat. I agree with you, Miss Pamela. I thought it was a great interview. I thought it was a great interview. I think oftentimes we make people feel embarrassed by their journey. So we don't always want, people are like, well, that's in her past. She shouldn't have to talk about her past. And your past is what makes you a whole person. If you're doing what you're supposed to do to heal yourself, then your past is a lesson. And it's a lesson that you're going to want to share with others because you want them to walk the right walk and follow the right path. You don't want them to have to make the same stumbles. And it doesn't matter if they're friends or strangers. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to say, hey, this is what happened to me. And if there's something that you can learn from this, I want you to learn from this. You know what I'm saying? Someone said that no real burning questions, but a great love and sisterhood. Okay. I thought that she had said some things that I thought was kind of new because again, we know her story from television. Um, Layla said that the live that she was on the live and it was fun. We know her story from television. We get to see little snippets, and then we try to fill in the blanks with what we know, right? Because clearly the television show isn't everything, right? So thank you so much. I appreciate you for blessing the channel with the super sticker. The television show isn't giving us everything. We're putting bits and pieces together because a lot of people have lived her story. So when you see certain things, certain, actions from others, you're like, hey, these things is what she's telling us, but in order for it to have gotten there, these things would have had to happen. So we're piecing those things together, and sometimes she confirms them, and sometimes she's like, I'm not ready to talk to you about it now. The other day, I believe it was Saturday night, Melody made a post, and let me read that post. Actually, I should have put it up here so that you guys could actually see it. But y'all remember she made the post sharing that she was going to have a name change ceremony. And first, I should also say, hey, I see some of my mods are in here. The mods are anybody that you see with a little wrench behind them. So thank you to everybody who is showing up, all the mods. They're here to make sure that everybody has a good time in the chat. So we want you to have a good time in the chat, even if you're watching from the bushes, because sometimes things can be happening in the chat that feels uncomfortable. So my mods are here to make sure that you are having a good time in the chat, and they will definitely time out anybody who is not following the rules. We don't want any hate speech, any name calling for people. Have respectful discussions. Thank you also for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate you so much. And then also just making sure that, again, if they see anything, I'm trusting their discernment here. If they see something that don't look right, don't feel right, they're going to remove you. Also don't want anyone in the chat who is soliciting or any type of spam. Miss Layla, thank you so much for blessing the channel. Peace and love to you as well. So what I wanted to just finish up is sometimes we put these pieces together and we're sharing them from things we know. Maybe it's our own experiences, maybe it's experiences that we've seen from others. So it is helpful. We know that Melody went through a really tough journey. One of the questions that Shanita, I apologize if I did not say your name right. I think it's Shanita. But one of the questions she asked was, when did you know that it was over for you? Like, a lot of people are saying that you brought this to television, but you had already checked out of your marriage and relationship. We heard Martell say that when they were in the Vegas trip, right? Oh, you used me. You weren't really here for me. Remember him saying that to her? You weren't here for me. You were writing them songs. You was running around singing them songs, having my kids sing them songs, and you were already gone. You had already checked out, because he's looking for a reason like, why aren't you forgiving me like you did the last 3 times or the last 4 times, right? So he's saying all that mess. And this time, and it also had a whole bunch of people on the internet saying Melody used Martell to get on this show, and she basically had already checked out of this relationship, and that's why it was so easy for her to move on, or whatever the case may be. Now, Melody had a chance because her friend asked the question, and she has answered some of these questions before. She just shared the information in a different way this time, and I appreciated it. I really did, because if you make decisions, big decisions of any kind, you know that there is a build up before you get there. When the world sees it, you had already, the plan had already went into motion. You're not just going to wake up and roll out the bed and, I'm doing this, that, and the other. This is a woman who had 4 kids. She had shared her life on television. She was telling people what was going on with her. And now she was in a place where she had to make decisions, right? And so she basically said that in 2020, she realized that it was a buildup. So Pamela is saying, that's right. Okay, I appreciate you, Pamela. Because this is what I also want from my platform. I don't care if I'm talking about celebrities. I don't care if I'm talking about real news like with AJ Owens. I want us to be honest about what we're talking about, what we're sharing, because it helps us move to wherever we need to move to. When I'm watching YouTube channels, and I've told you guys a couple of times, when I started watching YouTube and watching reviews for shows, there were 5 ladies that I used to listen to every single day on the very same show, but they all had different opinions and perspectives. And I enjoyed every single one of them. I never wrote in their comments, oh, I don't like the way you said this, or, such and such said it this way. I never said that, because when they all spoke, I took something away from absolutely every single one of them. Those ladies were Color Me Pink, Bondi Blue, Jamie, it's Jamie, that's me, I think it's her name. And then there was another one, the other two, Niecy Dixon and something Lee. I forgot her name for some reason, something Lee. But either way, when I would listen to them review the show, they all had different opinions. Sometimes it was the same, but just how they spoke about everything else was different. And I loved it. But then I was like, I also have an opinion. So now I want to do my own show and talk about it. Okay. And so that is what I appreciate here. I like reading your opinions. I like seeing what you guys think. Sometimes you're like, we've heard this before. It's not a big deal to me. And sometimes you guys are like, yeah, this is actually good content. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Linda. If you're rocking with this content, please hit the button. 494 of you are watching right now. And then I'd love it if more of you could hit that like button. So we have 517 of you in the chat. Go on ahead and get me up to like 450. Surprise me, okay? Just hit the button. Even if you're not in the chat, you can still hit the like button, and we won't know who did it, okay? So go ahead and hit the like button. Anyway, back to what I was saying about Melody saying when she checked out. Jay Lee, thank you. So I said, it's Jamie, that's me, and Jay Lee. I always would get them confused, but thank you so much. But I used to listen to those five ladies on the same show all the time, because they all lived very different experiences. They all are different ages, and I enjoyed it. It really was. I still enjoy it, to be honest. I don't always have time to listen to other people's content though, because when you are a content creator, you realize that your time is very limited. Whatever you have to do on the internet, and then whatever you have to do at home, those two things, whew, it could be a whole day for you. So you don't always get a chance to listen to everybody else. But at the end of the day, Melody said there was a buildup of experiences that she was having with her husband. And even though she wanted to, make sure things were good, when he came home with that mess, y'all remember her telling us, when she came home and said that she does, um, he's going to keep in this relationship. I'm going to continue in this relationship with you as a wife and a husband, okay? As your husband, I'm going to continue. But I'm also going to continue in this relationship with the other one. And you just going to have to deal with it. And Melody said after she had heard that, she knew her mind just turned off, like, oh, I don't have to think about this anymore. We've done this before. We've done it before that. And we've done it before that one. And now I realize I don't have it in me to do it anymore. So I am now in this moment checked out of this relationship. And that is huge. That is huge. That is what people need to know. That's what people need to hear. Because sometimes people don't know where the strength comes from, right? And she's letting people know it took me a few times to get to there. And sometimes not for everybody, do we have the strength to do it that very first time? But she had heard it before, and now she's listening to this man tell her again, after just previously making I will never do this promises, after her just having her newborn. Now we got you saying this mess again. And she said, that's when I knew. She said, I didn't look back. And at that point, a lot of people were in the chat saying she felt numb. At that point, you would be numb. At that point, you would be numb. Okay. So I wanted to say that Melody had a whole lot of patience. Woo. This is KW for sure. She did have a lot of patience. I agree with you. But honey, she was in that marriage for a very long time. And she even said at one point, she said, I thought I had the perfect marriage. Now, right now, people are calling Martell a whole bunch of names, right? They have diagnosed him up, down, all around, narcissist, narcissistic sociopath, whatever. I think there's another word in there. um, yeah, someone said, I am done. I know I'm done once I get that numb feeling. Okay. That's true. That's true. I was in a relationship many, many moons ago before my husband. So I'm gonna share a story with y'all. I was in this relationship with a man that I actually thought I was gonna marry. I was in love, head over heels, over the moon with this man. Okay, let me take Melody's picture down. Hold on 1 second. I was head over heels in love with this man, y'all. And I had told everybody with ears, we're getting married, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Um, I had told my mama, my whole family, and it was just a thing. I mean, until my grandmother passed away, she was still calling my now husband by the other guy's name because that's how much I talked about him. She would slip up and say, "Oh, where's such and such?" And I'm like, "Oh, I haven't been with that man in a minute. I'm married." And she would, "Oh, okay, okay. I'm so sorry." She would forget because that's how much I thought I was in love with this guy. Well, I shouldn't say that's how much I thought. I was in love with him. And I probably would still be if I didn't figure some shit out. But basically, he had went on a trip with a friend of his, and when he went on this trip, he had met someone else, y'all. Met another person, and was carrying on a full-blown relationship with this person. And I ended up, you know how you can feel something's wrong, but you don't have the proof that anything's wrong, right? Anyway, I knew something was wrong, just didn't have the proof. But when you know something's wrong, you don't have a proof, you feel crazy. You feel crazy as hell. So it doesn't matter what's going on, you're off in pretty much everything, going to work, how you drive, almost hitting cars, you name it, because everything feels off for you. Absolutely everything. And I ended up going to sleep. We went to bed, and very late in the morning, like early morning, 2, 3 o'clock, he had gotten up, and we had a dog as well. But he was gone and the dog was gone. And I was like, well, if the dog is gone, where the hell is he? So we were in this old house, and the house would creak just a little bit when you would step on the floor. And God moved me around these floorboards, I'm going to tell you, so that the floor didn't creak when I walked. So I made my way down the stairs, and I was able to overhear him having a conversation with someone else. And that is how I knew. And I didn't wait 2, 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't take him another chance. In that moment, like you guys said, I had turned numb. I remember, like, oh my God, this is happening. I called my sister. I remember calling my sister like the next morning, or it was early morning. So when the sun had come up, I had called my sister, told her what happened. And she was like, let's go. You shouldn't be there anymore. And I was like, no, let me work this out. Let me work this out. That's what I thought I could do in my head. But I went to work. And then somewhere in the day, I said, I can't stay here. I ended up leaving work. I grabbed a bunch of boxes, left work, packed whatever I could, put it in my boxes because I lived with him, and I left that day. And then when that weekend came, I went and got a moving truck and moved the rest of my stuff out, everything. And I remember him saying, "Can we talk about it? Oh my God, why is this happening like this?" And da 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 da. And I was like, "No, we can't talk about it." But I also didn't have 4 kids with him. We didn't have a house note together. We didn't have businesses together. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff that we had together. But you're right. It was intuition. And once you need to find something out, you'll find it out, and you'll do what you need to do. Now, for Melody, she said, listen, we all make mistakes. And we do. Like, that was many years ago, like I said. Right now I'm married, and we have a lot of stuff together. And I would probably be more inclined to seeing if I could work it out than doing what I did when I was much younger. When I was much younger, it was like, it's done. I'm cute. I can find somebody else. Goodbye. Even though I did think that this man was going to be my husband. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Cookie from the Shot said, when a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it. Facts. That is the truth. Let's see. Glam Rock said, I did the same thing. I called my brother and got a U-Haul, baby. My sister and her husband, literally, my sister's husband pulled up in that U-Haul on a Saturday, and the plan was to have all my shit out of that house before he even came home. But baby, he came home before I could get it out of there, and he was like standing there with his mouth open. But it would have been so smooth if I could have gotten everything out of that house before he walked in the door. Okay. But, anyways, yes, sometimes you have a gut feeling. You have a gut feeling and you can't shake it. And yeah, you got to know when to trust yourself. Okay. And it just so happened that I was able to trust myself. I knew something was wrong. I knew he wasn't telling me. And, things happen. But I like that Melody was able to share. Listen, he already know that he and I had been through some stuff. I thought I could trust him, and boom, I couldn't. So when it came to it, when you got to turn it off, you turn it off. Now, is there heartbreak after that? Sure. There was heartbreak for me, even though I made moves, there was heartbreak for me. Melody said though, once she was out the door this time, she was like, it was much easier. I should say that's the part. She made it seem like it was much easier for her to move on and not look back. And a lot of people have said, if you weren't on TV, you probably would have never left. Y'all remember people saying that? Someone said, I can't do the cheating, gotta go pronto. Scared of a cheating man. You don't know what disease they can bring to you. It's not funny. That's true. It's not funny. You don't know what people, are capable of, what they're doing. And it is what it is. But yeah. Let's see. I always wanted out and nothing attached. Nothing attached to him when I left. I left with my clothes and wedding gifts and my friends and my friends and family gave me. Nothing attached to him came with me. See, I'm the same type of person. When I am done with someone, um, everything goes. I don't want any pictures. I need to cut everything off because I'm emotionally connected to people in a different kind of way. I told you that I'm an empath, so I can sense things, feel things, that kind of stuff. And when it's time for me to cut something off, the only way that I truly heal is it needs to be completely out of sight. Out of sight means out of mind for me. Tanga J said that she found peace with her final decision, which gave her strength for sure. Because imagine, you've given him this another chance, right? Whatever chance he was on at that point. And then she just had her baby. She just had her baby. So at this point, she's like, I know that what I need to do is move on because I can't continue with the heartbreak. And if she would have stayed in it and just been numb, she would be a completely different person, right? Because she wouldn't even know how to really tap into her own feelings. Remember when Melody was like telling the story about how her intuition was coming back? Because when you're with a liar, they dull your intuition. They make you think that what they're telling you is the truth. And you literally, everything that God has put in you to protect you and to guide you, you're killing your own intuition. So yeah, that's important. Let's see. Um, Someone said that I have learned to never say what I would do because you never truly know, speaking from experience. That's true too, honey. But yeah, we're all watching these shows. And not just Love and Marriage Huntsville, like all the shows. We're watching people on TV. Sometimes they're not even on a TV show, just stuff that you see on the news or whatever. And we're trying to figure out why make people are making certain decisions. We don't always get to hear the reasons why. We don't always get to hear that stuff, right? So we start judging them based on what we would do. So I thought that today was very enlightening in the sense that we got an opportunity to hear what Melody was actually thinking and doing, because the show doesn't always give us everything. They cut things up a lot all the time to drive a narrative, whatever they need to, start or close the show. And sometimes people don't want to talk, right? Remember, this is just an example. I know that she's moved on, child, and I wish her the best, but Destiny would get really upset and shut down because she didn't want people to ask her certain questions. She didn't even know how to play it off. Y'all remember when Kimmy was, trying to talk to her when she was at her store, her beauty store, and she was like, "Well, Destiny, Why don't you want to talk to Stormi? That kind of thing. I don't, because I said so. Well, that's good. And da, 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 da. And that was truly who she was being in the time. She was like, that's really her truth. It just doesn't work for television. That's when you see something like that, you're like, well, for the audience, we're getting frustrated because we want to know what you're thinking and truly feeling. So we're not always able to give that grace because it's frustrating for us to watch as well. So she's putting us in her place. Like, damn, this is frustrating. It's frustrating for Kimmy. It's frustrating for us. Whereas we saw Melody and Kimmy have a back and forth, right? Excuse me, Melody and Kimmy had a back and forth just this past episode where Kimmy's like, well, Melody, that's not fair. We see you with a man and you seem happier and all of these things. And Melody was like, yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you because it's none of your business. I know what I want to share and what I don't. But she was also being playful, like, well, where do you want to go on vacation? Let's talk about that. I'm not going to let you break me down and I'm not going to give you what you want either. But I know how to keep this scene going so that we could be, we could film and give the audience what they need. Phyllis said that Mel gave Martell so many chances. What more should she have done? Moreover, that beast of a sidekick, keep abusing her verbally every chance she got publicly. People should give this woman a break. I agree, honey. I agree. I think, however, I do believe that more people support her than don't. Sometimes the ones that don't, they seem like they're very loud voices, but I do believe that Melody have more support than not. Let's see what Nikki Nicole said. She said, that's how I was with my narc husband, waiting on the divorce to be final. Thank God we had no kids together or any other ties. I know that's right. Um, let's see what Kay also said. I think that's why Martell catches hell because women go through so much emotionally in relationships and from experience. That's true. That's true. Men are taught to chase what makes them happy, and women are taught to tolerate. Period. If it doesn't make you happy, learn to tolerate it because you have kids. Learn to tolerate it because he makes more money. Learn to tolerate it because whatever. We're just learn to tolerate. We don't always have someone telling us get the hell up out of here. In fact, y'all know everybody on the show, including I think Melody's mother, had said, we didn't expect Melody to go through with it. We didn't expect her to get the divorce. That lets you know a lot that despite whatever they had going on and what people on the outside looking in may have seen, they didn't expect it. So not even Martell, he said, till this day, I did not expect Melody to go through with it. And y'all remember in season one, he was the one trying to threaten her, like, you listen, you better stop before I go. Do you want a divorce? Because I'll file. Remember Martell saying that mess? Martell was the one threatening Melody. In other words, I want you to stay scared. I want you to stay scared and thinking that I'm going to leave you because if you leave me, I'm going to still have it all. That's says plenty. And a lot of men say that. A lot of men say that to women. Thank you, Phyllis Anderson, for rocking with the DYANAROZAY channel. I appreciate you for blessing the channel and becoming a member. Thank you so much. Um, let's see. Caramel Fox. Caramel Fox said, I will be real honest. The last episode gave me so much anxiety. We have so much to unpack. Child, why did the last episode give you anxiety? I want to hear from you. Tell me. Tell me what's going on, child. I want to know. I actually liked the last episode. I actually thought that it moved along a little better. I think these last 9 episodes was about trying to show that the cast was building relationships or trying to get back to a place where they were building relationships. Um, and I don't know. It just took a long time for them to get us here. Melody never shared a lot, but whenever she does, it's mind blowing. The much making story was funny. Okay, I didn't hear that part, I don't think, but I have to go back and look. I actually recorded some of it, so I wanted to play it for you guys, if you don't mind. Chanita she is very long-winded, so my phone kept spinning, and I would have to turn it off and come back on to record the video. Martell thought that Melody couldn't find another man because she has 4 children. It's always easier for a man with 4 children than a woman with 4 children. And that is true. 100% true. 100% true. Um, let's see. Gigi 1960 said, my ex told me if I left, no one would want me because I had kids. Ooh, I knew he was a fool before that, but that took the cake. Saw him at a funeral and he tried it. Not, oh girl, that is hilarious. Let's see what else you guys got to say. He is, he in his cheating thought of himself, but in his cheating, Mel thought of her children, Mel thought of her children, business, show, pregnancy, family, even the look of failure. But when God took precedence, she could hear go. Okay. Yes, child, I agree with every one of you, everything you guys said. Let me see what Caramel said. She said, I liked it overall. However, the scene with the comeback group gave me anxiety. I should say that. Oh, okay. The scene with the comeback group gave you anxiety. I know a lot of people were saying that that scene was fake, but I don't know if you guys remember. Melody had did a live right after that scene, and she made she was telling everybody, I don't give a damn what. Never let anyone tell you not to accept a fee for your business. Do y'all remember that? So that's why I think that scene was real, because she came when she said that. When I saw that scene on Saturday, I was like, oh, it was Marceau who told her she was being greedy. And she said, I don't care who you are. You have a fee. You keep your fee. You don't lower it. You don't give it to people for free. You know what your worth is, and you do what you need to do to manage your business. And I was like, girl, that was where that came from. That's where I believe it came from anyway. But yes, Gigi said right. That's where I believe it came from. So I think that that scene was real. I think that they really went at it. And I also think, again, Marceau actually said out loud, probably already knowing the scene was going to come up, okay, because we didn't know. Deshonda said that she remembers that live. Yes, ma'am, I remember it too. She was like, "Come on in, come on in." You know how she does. Come on in, come on in, y'all. Let me tell you this: if you are in business, never let someone tell you what you should accept, what you should charge, all of that stuff. So that was a real conversation that was being had at that table. Melody said what she had to say, and she didn't do it in an angry way. At least we didn't see that on the show. So she didn't do it in an angry way. She just said, how are you going to tell me what I'm going to charge for me? And then Marcel was like, well, how are you going to tell me that I shouldn't feel like it's greed? And at the end of the day, she trumped with everything and saying, you guys didn't even know that you could get sponsorships to pay for the speakers or pay for whatever your panels are. Therefore, the fact that you're using the sponsorship money for what you want to use it for tells us everything we need to know. Kimmy said the exact same thing. So I just thought, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was real. I think that Marceau tried to get ahead of the game when he had his recap with Carlos King, because he literally said in the recap, if you bring a business idea around me and Tisha and you don't use it, we're gonna steal it. He literally said those words. We're gonna steal it. So I want you guys to know that, okay? I'm gonna play just a little bit of Melody's chat. You guys keep the comments going, because we're going to talk about it as we go. Don D said, or excuse me, maybe it's Donna D. I hope I didn't pronounce your name incorrectly. She said, if Marceau and Tisha want them to speak for free, they should know exactly what sponsorship money is coming in and be a part of deciding where that money goes. Otherwise, it's a no for me, dog. Correct. At the end of the day, they didn't really want them to be a part of the decision making. That's what I said in my review. I said they didn't come there to get consensus from the group. They came there to tell the group this is what's going to happen, and you can either be on board or off board. It's up to you. But we're not doing it. We're not going to change anything. So yes, facts, facts, facts. And I'm assuming that Maurice didn't share any of this with his wife Kimmy, because Kimmy she showed up with a binder, right? With a binder to basically call Marceau and Tisha out, Maurice sat there trying to, completely on mute. Let's see what Erica said. Erica said he admitted to not having a clue of their own, admitted it, and was proud of it. He was proud. He didn't care. He didn't care at all. Marceau didn't lie. They willingly steal your ideas. Yes, yes, that's what he said. He said, you bring me, if you say anything in front of me and Tisha, and you don't use it, it's me and Tisha's idea at this point. So he definitely lied. He definitely lied. Okay. Definitely lied. I said definitely lied. He was definitely telling the truth. And he wanted people to know, including Kimmy saying after everybody had came in, all the hard work and hours that they had put into it, Kimmy had that letter that she had put in plastic and said that this man said he wanted to be the leader of the group. Cookie from the Shy said that Maurice is a Scot. Never forget it. Maurice is a Scot. Okay, for sure. Maurice is the older brother, but he definitely seems like he follows whatever Marceau's lead is. He really does not help direct anything, in my opinion, or to put people on the right path. Let's see. Tanga said, did you notice who was the business-minded ones in that meeting? The men are nothing but scrubs with no business sense. Okay, Tanga. Tanga calling the men out. Kay Hay said, yes, Scott 1.0 and Carlos wants us to believe Tisha is a boss and that they are millionaires. Well, child, they didn't prove themselves to be bosses on Saturday. Tisha, the way that episode played out, they can blame it on the producers at this point, producers and editing. When that scene played out, Tisha was sitting there. Her face was as tight as Martell's when Melody refused to shake his hand. Both of them had the tightest faces on the show. Okay, I'm not really for sure who poked Maurice at the end of the meeting, but I guess he felt like he needed to get his 2 seconds in. But anyway, it was a mess. It was a mess to me, and I really appreciated. I appreciated what Melody had to say. She came correct, and that's the most important thing here. When you're able to deal in a rational and quiet mind, you get to say what you need to say. You get to put that on the table and not come at people with really bad energy, because you saw Tisha switch it. Mel, I tried to support you in your skincare line, and I shouldn't be mimicking her right now, but at the end of the day, she knows that was a different thing. That was a different incident entirely. You guys had beef because you called the police on Martell when they were married. And now Melody's like, well, I'm not supporting you in that BS. And I'm not supporting Martell either. You're not going to take me into a place I'm not supposed to be there. So you can keep it. I don't give a dog. Okay. Sugar said, facts, Diana. Layla said, someone from Huntsville said that the Scots are known to scam people. Okay. I'm going to put up allegedly in case somebody's watching, because y'all know people enjoy watching our little chats. Okay. This is about the show. So let's see what else is going on. Checkmate for Melody yet again, for sure, for sure, for sure. I told you guys, this is a season where people are getting aired out. In my opinion, that's what I feel like. People are getting aired out. Let's see, Linda, thank you so much for reminding people to hit the like button. We have 894 of you right now watching on this mid-Monday afternoon, but only 476 likes. So if you could, please and thank you. If there's 894 of you, go on ahead and get me to like 750, and the rest of you can like sit in the bushes. Even if you aren't in the chat, you can hit the like button, because nobody's going to know. Just go ahead and push it. And yeah, thank you, please and thank you. Someone said, I'm just so glad that Kimmy can look so good considering what she's going through. Yeah, she does look good, right? Even now, I think she's finished her radiation. I think well, we'll see. They are filming, I think right now, still filming the second half. So we'll get to see what's going to come up, right? But she does look good. And I'm happy that, she was able to share her journey, because I do believe that when I say we as collectively Black women, we don't always go and get those breast exams. My husband's mom passed away from breast cancer. It is huge and important in our family. So we just want to make sure that everybody is healthy and that they get in their their exams. Um, Thank you so much, Arheb, for blessing the chat. Okay, for blessing my channel, not the chat, but blessing both of us. How about that? Blessing both of us. Pink Butterflies, that's a cute name. She said, glad Kimmy spoke up during the comeback meeting. Yeah, we don't always get to see Kimmy speak up. The last meeting that they had, the collective had, and I believe not the last meeting, excuse me, the meeting they had in season 5 when Melody and Martell joined together to say, hey, this is wrong. What Wanda did was wrong. And it seems like she brings a different set of problems for our group when she is on the show. We don't want to see her there anymore. Y'all already know that Kimmy was the person who said, I'm gonna help the other brother join the show so that he can get whatever crazy BS he wanted to get off his chest. Thank you, Golden Mike, for becoming a member. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for blessing the channel. Thank you for rocking with DYANAROZAY. That's what I need to say. Um, Let's see. Layla said Tisha didn't know the difference between sponsors and showing up uninvited. She's no boss at all. It's all for show and pretending on TV. Ciao, ciao. Ty said, I'm in the bushes. Hey, Ty girl. You are funny. Well, welcome, honey. I know that you want to go live to talk about some other things. I have it on my list of to-dos. I will probably do that tomorrow. So I definitely want you out the bushes and in the chat or on the panel to discuss it. Yes, so yeah. Anyway, we already know that she had done some pretty messed up stuff. But at this point in time, even with what happened, um, Melody is still, playing. Maybe she's playing a role or not. I'm not sure. But her and Kimmy are still engaging in a way that is comfortable for viewers. Let's say that. I don't know if they'll have this discussion in real time or if they'll never talk about it because in season 5, when the producers were trying to get Melody to talk about it, Melody said, next question. I'm not going to let you take me there. I don't give a damn. Okay. Y'all already did what y'all did. So I have no desire to have a conversation about him. Sugarfoot Sweetie, I like this name too. Hey, Sugarfoot. She said, when Marceau and Tisha first brought this group together a few weeks back, I don't remember who, but the question was asked if 50,000, if, well, the question was asked, so if 50,000 is made, who gets the money? Marceau said verbatim, me. Oh, for real? Child, I got to go back and listen to that, but I don't doubt it. Like I said, when Kimmy was like, you answered my question, and you guys are trying to act like you created this and you're putting a whole new name on it, which is BS because that's not your idea. You guys didn't put any work into getting it here. You literally stole all of the initiatives and all the things we were supposed to do as a collective under the comeback group. You stole all of it, and now you are creating this whole new thing, and I don't appreciate it. And Marceau nodded his head, yeah. And she was like, okay, I just wanted to know you're going to call it a different name then. And when she said that, he just smirked like, that's cool. Either way, we're going forward with with the idea me and Tisha made. Bad Apple said the Scots have some effing nerve to be expecting more charity from Mel after all the disrespect from both of them. The jokes write themselves. For sure, they absolutely do write themselves. Carmel said that we need to have a real conversation about the show overall. Okay. So right now we were supposed to be just kind of talking about Melody and her and Shanita's questions, but I do agree. Let's do that later in the week. I'm going to schedule a day for us to just talk about the show overall, if that's what you guys would like to do. And we can get real with it. Oops, I'm sorry about that, Linda. I'm putting your little conversation up. You talking to folk. Okay. Let's play. Can we talk about Mel getting flued out? Oh, so Shanita said she was going to take her. She was like, I'll pay for everything to take her to Dubai. Oh, child, that's nice, right? I'd love a friend who could just be like, girl, listen, pack a bag, let's go. That's real nice. Um, and isn't it interesting? Her manager, if you guys remember in that management meeting that they played on the show, the manager of that meeting said, I got big plans for you. We're going to be in Dubai this year. Look how Melody is calling in through the manifestation. Okay. She manifested Dubai without even trying. Now, her manager, I don't know what her manager will have to do with it. Maybe she'll put her on some business while she's there. But I remember her manager actually saying, we're going to go to Dubai this year. And it looks like Melody's going. So maybe, hey, that's it. Somebody had suggested that I do like a group trip for my, for my followers. If we could do something together, that would be cool. Oh, child. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Okay, let's play a little clip of the video if y'all don't mind. Just because I want to make sure that we stay on topic with some of the things we were talking about. So here we go. I don't want to have an echo, so hold on one second.
More on the show. And I think I even called and texted a couple times, like, what's going on over there? Why these people don't like you? And you ain't really respond. So I want to respond. I want you to respond to the people. Why do you think some of public perception is they don't like you?
Honestly, maybe these are just now becoming the suggested host for you, but out of the gate, I had people who loved me and I had people who didn't like me. I had people who saw me come in with this blonde swoop, thin figure, had the husband and these beautiful children and this home and these businesses. And I think a lot of people felt some kind of way. I don't like to use the word jealousy, but who didn't even know me, and they looked at the outer of me and in some kind of way felt some kind of way. So I've always had people who just love me and people who didn't like me. The mean girl, I think, comments that you see now, or that I'm mean or I'm nasty and this and that, is because I've gotten to a place where I'm speaking up for myself. I'm moving how I feel, meaning if I feel some kind of way regarding you, I'm not about to put on for the camera for you, if that makes sense. So then that comes off as, oh, she's being mean, rather than us as Black women understanding that it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay not to smile in the face of people who don't mean good. Like, it's okay not to shake hands with the enemy. It's okay, you know what I'm saying, to be like, nah, I'm good with that. You ain't welcome to this event, so I'm putting you out, or whatever the case may be. You walked in this meeting, tried to shake my hand, no thank you. Like, we're so used to putting on. And even though we know this person may not have our best at heart, may not want what's best for us,
Know what the comments are saying. Y'all need to take a more on the show. And I think I even called and texted a couple times, like, what's going on over there? Why these people don't like you? And you ain't really respond.
Okay, sorry about that, you guys. I just heard that you said no sound. I was looking at it on the other side. Their live was frozen. So I am going to replay that. I apologize to y'all that I was not paying attention. But basically, the first conversation is about whether why does Melody think that what does Melody think about people calling her a mean girl? If y'all can hear me now, please let me know so I don't start this video again. I don't know what the heck happened there. I'm sorry about that though. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the chat, please. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, so I lost you guys for a second. I was playing the video and I didn't realize that it had it basically the live stopped. So the very first conversation that Shanita or question that Shanita asked, we hear you. We heard the video. Someone said we heard the video until it froze. Oh, okay. So it froze and then that's what happened. Okay. Sorry about that. So basically she was just saying that when she had her little blonde hair and she was a little thinner and she was, on the, looking good, had these beautiful children, was married, had this beautiful home, that people just appeared. They were jealous, right? And Melody, I told you guys this before, Melody jumped off the screen. For me, when you saw Melody and Martell in that first season, they both jumped off the screen in a way that none of the other casts did. It froze at the very end. Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. So she said that they jumped off the screen in a way that no one else did. For me, they jumped off the screen in a way that no one else did. Someone said I did look like Melody. It did look like she had it all for sure. And she looked like a model, like the way she had her hair done with the little blonde, and she was beautiful. And then of course, someone said after it was all said and done, the Scotts and Martell all knew that they need Melody. She does not need them, in my opinion. It's too late for them to acquire the business acumen they need to succeed. The fact that the Scotts built their business on Melody and Martell's money, okay, on Melody and Melody's mama, okay, because from what I'm understanding, if I heard Melody and her mom correctly, that business wasn't doing well. It was Melody's mom who came in and helped organize everything so that they could get contracts and stuff like that. And that it was Melody's connections, the people she knew, that helped bring business to it, period. It was her connections, her recommendations. So yeah, for me, Diana, she was my fave from the start. Okay. So that says a lot too. That it definitely says a lot. And for years, once everything went down, the Scotts denied it. They went out of their way to call Melody a liar, to call her mother a liar. We never, even Martell, you're a liar. You're a liar. We never needed you guys. We never this, we never that, including lying and trying to put Tisha on a pedestal to make it seem like she was one who brought the company out of debt or whatever. So we already know that, and it came back for them in the very worst way. It came back for them in the very worst way, and that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You can't, you just can't say stuff like that and expect it not to come back for you. And you got to know when to humble yourself. You know what I'm saying? You just got to know when to humble yourself. But they had to sit on that reunion stage in season 5 after making a complete and total idiot, doing all this stuff. This is what Miss Van was doing. This is what Melody was doing. After doing all that, Marceau had to say, yes, it was Melody's connections that kept us afloat in the first season. It was, even Kimmy said it. Yes. Melody said, without even asking me, I have given you connections. I have sent things to your house. I have done this, and you're not going to call me a friend? And Maurice over there talking about, well, you don't go to the movies with her. You don't do that. Get the hell out of here. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. But anyways, let's see what else they had to say. I know a lot of you said that you heard the first part. So hold on.
I don't know what the comments are saying. Y'all need to take a shot of Alive though while we wait for bothering me because I don't like it. So I flew to Huntsville when you were filming for I think last year before last. I don't know what year it was, but I met that girl. What's the girl? Well, you might not want to say her name. The girl that owned the hair care line. And somebody typed the girl name. You want to say the girl name? What's the girl name? Okay, so keep listening. So, yes, okay. So I met this girl. Now, again, I don't watch the show, so you're going to have to help me. the girl was nice. Mel brought this lady to this event. I'm talking about, I felt like you shifted the whole event to make sure that she was comfortable because she was pregnant and we were outside. I watched you serve the girl. I watched you give her your whole platform of people that were there to talk about herself and her business and what she had going on and all of those things. And I'm a real person. I watch real interaction. And in that moment, and I seen her and I met her and I listened to her speak, I felt there was a genuine either connection or friendship or association. I don't know what it was because that was my first time meeting. But again, I'm on social media and I'm scrolling and they're going off about the girl. And I'm like, well, who's the girl? So you know me, I got to play the social media game because I'm not watching the TV show. I refuse. I know you in real life. I can just call you. And I'm like, now, wait a minute. Is this the girl who, like, is this the girl that you was nice to, but now all of a sudden she on the show and now she got a problem with you? Am I off? Or you gotta explain to me what's going on because I want to know what's going on.
Okay, girl, you know, and y'all, she has not asked me. This is so crazy. So you've been holding
because I want
to
be messy. I'm like, are they friends? Are they not friends? Like last time I seen y'all was friends. And you were nice, and I seen you catering and getting fans and giving a girl cold beverages, and like everybody was moving. Team Stormi, let me help this lady because she's pregnant, and we cut some speakers so she could speak. And so I'm lost because if I'm your friend, I need to be your friend publicly, privately, and on TV. So I'm trying to figure out what had happened.
Okay. Good question. So yeah, that is Stormi. So there were a few people there. You remember Mimi was there as well. So so no, Stormi was pregnant at the time. It was my Mimosas with Melody then. So whenever we wrapped last season, there were some things that happened that caused me to change my number and caused me to really go within, like to the point where the only people who had my number was about 5 people. Even production didn't have my number. It was a big.
So I'm sorry. There was some times where.
And because like she I could only share with me, because she wasn't hearing from me and didn't have my number, she felt some kind of way about that. I saw her at the reunion. We spoke. We hugged. Your Wi-Fi.
Not my Wi-Fi.
I saw her at the reunion. She froze.
You went on the island. I'm frozen. I'm not frozen. Hold on a second. I don't want to go out and leave this live. Hold on. Let me see something.
Okay. Okay, let me get the next video up, you guys, because they were playing around to see who was frozen. But yeah, what do y'all think about that? She basically said, and this we did not hear before, even though we know that Melody, and at least I haven't heard it before. Even though I know that Melody and Stormi were friends, the story I heard that was that Melody had brought Stormi to flowers to her home, and that's how it started. But for Shanita to say, listen, I saw this woman at your party, at your Mimosas with Melody, and you had fed her food, like brought her a plate, gave her your whole platform to introduce herself to your people, conversate about, talk about her business, whatever, talk about whatever work she was doing in the community. You brought her on your platform to share what you were doing, to share what she was doing with people that you know. Isn't that something? I had not heard that before. Maybe you guys have. But I was just like, whoa, that's not a good light. And Melody has never said that before. At least I don't believe she has. And if you guys have heard it, please correct me. I just don't remember hearing it. Okay. I try to catch all the lives, but sometimes I don't.
The reunion happened. I spoke to her. Told her she looked beautiful. Then when we came, that was October.
So now she's telling her what the breakdown is.
So October is the reunion. We started filming in December. December, our first thing we had together. Even when production flew in and met with us, they were asking how is everything with different cast members. Her name came up. I was like, oh, I said, I haven't talked to her in a while, but we're good. She's fine. Started in December, and that's when I heard at Kimmy's party the issue with her not having my number and how she wasn't gonna DM me, and then the stuff came out about how her mom had been feeling about me. But she'd been saying, so it just put even more of a distance, I would say, between us and our relationship. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting for sure. But you know me, like I'll just move on and let things go and keep moving and live my life, do my thing, and not worry too much about things that.
Okay, and then here's my other question, because I think people don't understand. And what am I gonna say? So it's you, Mel, going in and out. I don't want you to stop the live, but it's going. They said they can see me. It's you. I told you it's you because you on that. So let me see. Say something again.
Let me feel.
Yeah. So okay. I got a couple questions in me. How I need you to explain to people, because I think people don't get it, and I'm so far removed from television, right? And I tell people that when you're on TV, you have to live through everything that you're going through mentally, spiritually, emotionally, sometimes even financially, multiple times. To have to go through a divorce, a separation, and public. Can you tell them, because I know you kind of said it, but from like for real, on a for real perspective, can you tell them what it felt like were you really hurt? Because some people be like, oh, well, she didn't really care like that, or she got over it too quick, or she moved on too fast. And I think they just seeing it from the perspective from television. Were you really, really hurt? Like, were you like really sideswiped? Like, yo, this is not what I really wanted for my marriage or for my kids.
Okay. Oh, God dang. So by the time I left for good in April 2020, by the time I left, I was already removed, if that makes sense. Before 2020, when things were happening,
oh shoot. Hold on. All right, let me get the other video up. Sorry, I told you that it kept skipping, so I had to keep taking it down and then putting it back up. So getting the next video up for you right now. Y'all keep talking to me in the chat though.
In the coffee. It was devastating to see and think that hey, we got this, we're gonna make it through this, it's just a storm we went through, we good. Then for your heart to be broken again. And I think what happened, Shanita, my heart had gotten broken so many times prior to 2020, so much disappointment prior to 2020, that by the time I left in 2020, whole situation, like it got to the point where it was just like, you know what, whatever, God gotta have better for me, because I've gone through this for 3 years and this has been crazy. You know what I'm saying? I've been heartbroken. I've cried. I've prayed. I've done all of this only to continue to be disrespected and walked over and disrespected by more than one person. So by the time 2020 hit, why you see me now so quickly in a place of happiness, in a place of joy and light, is because literally it was a burden lifted at that point. Like I walked away knowing I would never go back. And I never went back to him. I never did. I never had a desire. I never thought about it. It ain't been no rendezvous, no hookups or nothing. It has not been any of that.
So if he got himself all the way back together, because I got another question you might not answer. But say for instance, he went away, he got himself together, went to go get some therapy, some extra Jesus sprinkled on top of him, And he came back and said, okay, I want to try this again for our family. You just saying I'm done. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question you might not like, but if you answer, then it's good because I want to know. So we said we're going to keep it 100. So I live in Atlanta, Georgia, y'all. I run around and I see so many celebrities, some friends, some associates. This is factual. So we're going to get all the facts straight. So I go to, I think it was like a Christmas party or Thanksgiving. I think it was Friendsgiving or something, right? And I walk in, I'm going to say the names because I don't owe my loyalty, but to nobody who I'm loyal to. So I'm on here with Mel. And I run into Sheree. Now, Sheree's friends with Ebony, Electra, they're really, really close friends, right? And some other people that were in the room. And I seen her and I hug her and I do the normal, hey girl, hey, what we do in Atlanta, took some pictures. Now, Mel say this wasn't the reason that I was on ice, but I had took a picture with Sheree and I think I might have posted it in my stories. I don't think it's on my page, but I think I posted it in my stories. So when I didn't hear from Mel, I'm thinking Mel shaded me. I'm like, this when I first seen it, because I didn't know. Again, Instagram is giving me my news, which is bad, y'all. But I finally see, okay, I think they dating, might be dating, still dating. I don't know. My only question, woman to woman, that I want to know, are you annoyed or don't like Sheree? Or do you feel a certain way about Martell? Because to me, I feel like once we're divorced or removed or we're not together no more, the other person is free to date whomever they like, whomever they choose. Now, when you have children in the mix, like me, I triple dog dare somebody to introduce some of my kids to somebody because y'all gonna see me on Oprah, ESPN, CNN, Fox. I'm talking about I'm going out with a bang. I can say that out loud. We're not doing no children introductions. But I just want to know, like, the truth. Like, do you feel a certain kind of way about this lady? You don't care? The media playing games? Like, do you like her or don't like her? I just want to know.
So you guys, I wanted to stop it real fast because one of the things that she said, I don't think Melody answered, but I'm going to play it all the way through, is how do you feel about Sheree and how do you feel about Martell introducing women to her kids? And then she said for her, it can't happen. Her ex is not allowed to introduce new women to her children or she's going to be on the news. But that's a real conversation too. Now, Melody's smiling and Melody has answered this question before. She was like, it's not my business. That is how she handled it. Like, I can only focus on one thing at a time. And the one thing I need to focus on is healing and not worrying about what Martell is doing, period. So in not worrying about what Martell is doing, I also have to just teach my kids to, I guess, be able to communicate. Y'all remember just a couple days ago, she said that she was really happy that her oldest daughter was able to speak up for herself. So teaching your children to speak up, to say that this hurts, this is wrong, mommy, this is what happened to me, that is 100% important when you know that you aren't around them all the time. They need to know how to share what's wrong. So I thought that was important. But anyways, let me play this.
I know how to proceed.
Okay, cool. So first, let me say this. I promise I don't even know the picture you're referring to. And you brought it up the other day. I would love for you, if you get a chance, to go to your archives, your story archives, and find that picture and see if I saw it. Because I don't think I saw it. Like, honestly, I don't think I even saw it. But I don't have a problem with Sheree. I do not. I think that people have been trying to create a problem with Sheree and I. And I don't know her to have a problem with her. This lady has done nothing to me. I've never hung out with her. I saw her one time when I was speaking in Birmingham. She had a booth set up on the floor. I was walking around patronizing all the businesses there. She was doing, I think, for her book. But I don't have I've always thought she was beautiful. Like, I've always, I used to watch Housewives, of course, too. I'm only 37. So I used to watch Housewives. That was a show to watch. I always thought she was beautiful. I don't even know her to have a problem with her. She's done nothing to me. She ain't never said nothing out the way to me. She ain't never called my phone or text me nothing. It's never been no issue. I think that people want it to be an issue. I think we're so used to pitting Black women against each other that seems to be okay. If we get them two going at each other, that'll be something. I'm not about to do that. I'm just not. Like, my womanhood doesn't allow me to do that. She's done nothing to me. So I don't have an issue with her whatsoever. I don't have.
Because you done froze again. You froze. In comments pressing upon what you think you know, what you see on TV, or what you've seen on. So I took this opportunity about things that I saw or I don't.
And let me tell y'all, and I'm not offended either. I'm not offended and I'm not bothered, because I expect nothing less than for Shanita to bring the real questions and the tough questions. Like, she's just real like that. So I'm not offended, y'all. I am not bothered. She's not asking anything that nobody has asked me before, right?
Really?
So the Millimeters were getting a little upset by the questioning, and Melody was just letting her know it was okay. So hold on.
Other side, because you'll be outside, and we see that you've been traveling a whole lot, Mel. So if you don't want to tell us if you're dating, when you're open, or how you date, what are the things that are important to you now? Like being married, having multiple children. We both got multiple children. We talked about this the other day about being a big package, right? We are a big package. It's not like dating a 20-year-old who has no key space, because, I got to start walking in this too, child. So I want to know what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like. They talking about, tell us, Mel.
So let me say one thing that I have honestly learned to love in these past, I would say probably past 2.5 years, is travel. I love to travel. And I think some of it came from, I used to hate being in Huntsville. I had gotten to a point where I hated being in Huntsville. I love being at home now, but at one point I was hating living in Huntsville just because there was such a dark cloud to me, because so much had happened in Huntsville and those people were still very present. So it just was like a dark cloud for me. So I love to, I started traveling and getting out and going places. I've traveled more than I traveled my whole marriage. The past, 2 years, I've traveled more than I traveled my whole marriage. And for me, as a single Black woman, for me to be able to do that is beautiful to me. For me to be able to hop up and last minute say, I'm out of here, I'm about to go out the country for a few days and do it, and don't have to worry about who gonna pay for it, not worry about can I afford to go, not worry about anything, but just go. This is bomb. Like, I love this life to be able to do as I want to do and travel. Again. There you go. I'm here by myself. I do a lot of traveling by myself. I don't travel by myself all the time, but I do a lot of traveling by myself. It's peaceful. I love it.
Okay, so that was the other thing that I thought was good for her to say, because at one point, we saw her in the reunion episode, or excuse me, reunion 3, when she was crying and she said, I hate Huntsville. I want out of Huntsville. And now she's saying that she was able to travel and get a different perspective about life. And in doing so, the people that she, had in her head that were, giving her bad energy, she said those people don't even matter anymore. She has done enough on her own where those people don't matter anymore, and she is enjoying her life. She enjoys her house. She enjoys where she's living in Huntsville. She enjoys her kids. She's looking down the hill, down the mountain on everybody else, okay? And not a lot of people get to do that. Sometimes you get out of a bad situation and you are still in the same spot, still going to the same job, still, you don't get to travel, you don't get to open your mind and your perspective. That's a big deal too, y'all. That is a big deal, and the hurt can last much longer than, or the healing process could be much longer than what we've seen with Melody right now. So Melody is, changing her name, having her party. She's ending a big chapter in her life. And a lot of you are curious if that means that she'll move on from the show as well. But we'll see. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Miss Tina said, yes, Diana. Yeah, sometimes you don't get to leave, right? I mean, what if I was living in this man's house and I didn't have a place to go? I mean, I was living with him, but if I didn't have a sister or some place to go, because when I called her, she was like, girl, pack your mess and let's go. We're ready. I went and lived with my sister, moved out of my sister's house, moved to St. Louis. So it was like, and it happened back to back. So it's just your willingness to move forward, to hear God, and to listen to your intuition, truly, to listen to your intuition. But let me play the rest.
I go up here and parasail by myself in a minute.
Girl, where these millimeters come from? You, the beehive, these millimeters are not, when I say they're not playing about you, these, I'm reading the comments, these people do not play about you. Like, calm down. Loud.
I'm trying to get my charge. Hold on.
Girl, like, listen, y'all, while she go to, listen, calm down. She told me to ask her the questions I want to ask. If y'all want to ask some questions.
Y'all was tearing Shanita up.
Answer, because they like, I done seen 100, the ring. Girl, these people said,
really?
The ring.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm not engaged whatsoever. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure, and I've said this before, so I'm not telling you anything I haven't said before. I'm not even sure if I want to get married again. You do, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong. I'm not sure if I want. Oh, I know you do. Let me be quiet. I'm gonna go to that just so you know. It's so in a different way though, but I'm going to it. But I'm really not sure if I desire to be married again. I feel like I've had that, in this life cycle. I had a marriage. I had what I thought was almost the perfect marriage till I realized it wasn't perfect. And so now for me, greater than signing a piece of paper and being married is more so important to have someone who is true to who they are, who's honest, who's transparent, who's a protector. And when I say protector, I mean that in every way, spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can sign a piece of paper and say, we're married now. But no, I really want a man who is absolutely 100% true and real. And that doesn't mean I have to be married. And to be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know. You go through too much trying to divorce if you need to get divorced after you get married. It's a lot. That shit's stressful. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, and you never know if it's gonna work out or not. You praying and hoping that it is, but we don't know.
I was like Tina Turner, just give me my name. I ain't gonna lie. For me, and again, I'm gonna leave that man business alone. I was very one of those people. I made a conscious decision. This was not part of my life plan. And I just feel like.
Okay. So what do y'all think of that so far? Melody saying that she's been married before. She don't think that she wants to do it again, period. She's had the experience. And right now, she's just in a place where she feels happy. She feels safe. She trusts herself. She knows that she can provide for herself and her children absolutely everything that, a man could have at this point. She's just looking for, if she does, partnership, but not marriage. Valerie Ragg said that Mel went through a lot, so I'm not surprised. Micah Bird said, I agree with that one. Not sure if I want to be married again because I'm going to protect my favor for show. Okay. Annette said Melody truly has inner peace. I agree with you guys. Miss Tina said Tisha is mad, jealous, envious of Mel because of talking to Mel. You better be on point because it's the correction for me. And the cameraman zoomed right in on her face. Child, Miss Tina, That's what I said too. When I'm watching this show, I love to hear where they put the music or the sound effects. And I like how the cameraman plays those angles because, again, everybody has been saying they're trying to boost her up as the boss. Da, da, da. Pay attention to how they play the camera angles because they might play it out the way, they do it. That's what they came to the table with. We're going to talk about Tisha being the boss. But when the moment counts, they will zoom in on your face and show you those expressions, okay? And they will say the exact opposite. Um, it's too raw to jump back in and jeopardize the sense of security of her children, in my opinion. That is Lady Lucy. Okay, let's see. I got 2 more videos, and these are short. I tried to only get what we could from Melody. I know Chanita has a story to tell too, and I think she may have written a book, but I wanted to just follow up with her story separately. So let's see what else they had to say.
What was your business, Mel? What business did you do? What is it?
So she basically said that Melody was a self-made millionaire prior to being on the show. So she was a entrepreneur and self-made millionaire prior to being on the show. And then she's asking her a little bit about what business did she do before moving into the entertainment business, which we all know the answer to this. But let's play it anyway. A little bit of it.
So a few things. So we had a lawn company, we had a cleaning company, and after that, and I was a teacher, so I taught this industry called property preservation. And then for property preservation, you work on foreclosures for the banks. So I was actually covering 7 states at one time. That was the peak of my, industry piece, was covering 7 states at one time. And you do work on foreclosures for banks, lawn cuts, log changes, evictions. Storms come through, fire damage happen, you go in and you repair that. So property preservation is a booming industry. So now I'm teaching people how to get in the game. Most of my students are women. They come in, I show them, how to get in the industry, run their companies, recruit their subcontractors. And it's been great. It's been great. It's been great. So far, I've had about 650, well, now like 700 entrepreneurs I've created since 2020.
Okay. You got the next question. They said I was talking.
Yeah. I do have a question. No, I do. So you talked about you want to be married again. You feel like you were meant to be a wife. And that's a beautiful thing. First of all, I can imagine. I know you were an amazing wife. I already know that. Super supportive. Because that's you. That's you with your friends. So I know that's how you were in your marriage. Super supportive, right?
Okay. So I think that is just Shanita's talking right there. So I'm gonna just go fast.
Trash man, 6 months later, he gonna own the trash company.
So she basically saying that she makes people, whoever she dates, whether it's the garbage man or the CEO, that she's gonna turn them into a millionaire. And she said that she doesn't do that anymore. She wants to date people that are on her level, because when she takes men that may not be of the same pay grade as her, they end up, moving on with someone else because I guess they're a little insecure in the relationship they're in with her. So that's how that ended. And then I think the last video was Melody basically saying that she had met someone and ended up having this conversation with him about what a man would need to come to the table with. So if I'm not mistaken.
Because he was sitting over there laying on the thing. I said, oh, I'm silly, Shanita. I'm silly. So I said, Sean, look at him over there sleeping. So I went over there and stomped his foot and I was like, hey, you over here cuddled up on this thing, right? I did. So anyway, we said, yeah, because if you ain't making every month, then don't even try to talk to me because it ain't gonna work. Like me and him was talking, not about himself, but I was telling him how I am with people. He just went through a divorce and stuff too. So you've got to bring a certain thing to the table, because if not, I can do this by myself. So you got to be bringing.
Okay, but wait, it's 2 sides to this. I wanted to make sure I made this clear. So, ladies, I feel like I had this conversation with my best friend. Some of these got unrealistic expectations. Mm-hmm. Now, let me start right there with this financial. You cannot expect or be asking for, I'm just being hypothetical, a man got to make $500,000 a year. You don't even make $50,000 a year. So let me roll this
Now
thing
that's
back
right.
a little bit. Whatever it is that we're talking about, first of all, two things. Number one, is okay to build and grow with a man. I'm talking to everybody between 20.
Okay, so I cut it off after that. But basically, she was just saying Melody makes enough money to ask for whatever man is coming to the table to have a certain amount of money, and that everybody shouldn't expect that. But anywho, I think grown people know. I think grown people know better. But you guys, let me know. Do y'all have anything else that you wanted to say in the chat? You guys have been super great. I've been reading the comments coming up, and I can't wait to do this again. I'll probably do it tomorrow, just because I think that this is a great format. Even though we have people come up, I really like reading your comments and watching you guys engage in the chat as well. Eat Well 23, thank you so much for blessing the channel. They said, I appreciate how Melody feels. However, her heart might soften to matrimony again in the future. If so, that would be great because Melody has so much love to give in a great and anointed marriage. And you're not the only one who feels that way. I remember one of her other good friends she was on live with. They were like, you definitely are going to get married again because you are the kind of person who is in love with marriage. And Melody actually agreed with her. And she was like, you need to write a list of the things you want and manifest that person for you. But she also said that Melody likes to be coupled and she enjoys marriage. And we've heard Martell say this a lot. Melody hasn't, and she probably hasn't said it a lot because she didn't want to sound like Martell and for people to start pairing them back together. Martell speaks it anytime he gets an opportunity. I want to be married again. I love, the idea of marriage. I love what I had in marriage. Melody, her friend, actually said the same thing over the summer last year. They had a live together, and someone said that you missed the part about the African. Oh, I did. You're probably right, Jade. I'm sorry. I was trying to keep catching it, and it just my internet was spinning. I don't know if it was me or them. It could have been both of us. Tell me what she said so I can put it up here. But I do remember her having that conversation about manifesting a man for her, because she was like, he would have to love music, because some of the things that Destiny was saying, Melody loves music. She will send you a song anytime, day or night. She'll just call you and start singing stuff like that. And she said, Melody said that Martell wasn't into music the way she was. And she was like, because that's a passion for her. Her next partner would have to love music. I forgot what else she said. She said some other things. I did a video on it, but she basically what I was saying was that to Eat Well 23 is that you're saying some of the same stuff that one of her very good friends, I think maybe her best friend, was saying. The African joke is hilarious. Somebody tell me the African joke, please. Hey, Dee Dee. Someone tell me the African joke. Shanita matched to a rich. Oh, I think I did hear a little bit of it. So she said that she put her with a rich African. So yes, was the African from Atlanta? Apparently there's this whole group of rich African men here. We know that a couple of people have tried to date one, right? The RHOA cast, I think they all went through a few of the African men. But yeah, I think I heard that she had met this African guy and he was really into her. And Melody was like, well, I wasn't as into him. So she broke it off. And then she said something about if she called him right now, he would be like 100% on and ready. But she said she's not the type of person to use anybody. And when I guess Melody brought her G-Wagon, the guy saw it and he started saying, who bought you that G-Wagon? Like, I would have done that for you. Whoo, child. Talk about no, his from Africa. Oh, no, he was not from Atlanta. Okay, thank you. Okay. Layla said no, he is from Africa. Sharon said he was not from Atlanta. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lisa Love, for blessing the channel. She said, wonderful chat today, Diana. It lifted my spirit on this dreary Monday. Thank you, Lisa. Oh my gosh, that really warms me up. Thank you for saying that. You guys are so amazing. But yeah, I did hear her have that conversation. So thank you guys for reminding me. I didn't tape it, but I did hear her say it. Um, Dan Pam says Shanita was saying how she respected Mel and that Mel did not want to use him. Yes, I heard her say that. I heard her say that too. She and Melody said, I don't use people. Um, Listen, there is a guy who he was my mentor and a father figure, and he told me, he said, when you go to a bar, buy your own drink so you can say what you think. And I will always remember that. He said, never, don't sit there and let men buy you drink after drink after drink because they think that they can take you wherever they want to take you. And my mama told me that too, but that's something that I always pass to the young ladies. Don't go into bars and expect men to buy you drink after drink because men think that, they own you for whatever, $10 or $13. That's not how it works. Buy your own drink, okay? Um, all that glitters is not gold, baby, for sure. Okay. You guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. We have been on for a little bit over an hour. But you all have been amazing. Okay. I love every single second of this live today. And I can't wait to catch up with you guys on the next one. But thank you to all of my mods. Okay. All of my mods that joined the chat. Cookie from the Shy. I saw Miss Tina. I saw Tanga J. Let me see. I don't want to miss calling anyone out. Was that it? Miss Tina, Cookie, Linda Gamble. Hey, thank you so much for joining the chat today. Okay, thank you all. If I missed you, I apologize. I definitely will catch you on the next one. I also want to thank all of the members, everyone who joined the channel, rocked with Diana today. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of the people who blessed the channel with a financial gift. I appreciate you as well. We are definitely coming back maybe later today, but if not tomorrow, because y'all, I gotta get it crunk over here. Okay. I gotta get it crunk over here. But you guys have been amazing as always. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna check you guys on the next one. Don't forget to hit that like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button too. That doesn't cost you a thing. And I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye-bye.